Today we are going to talk about something different. I'm going to tell about my experience living in Spain. So I have lived in Spain for 3.5 years now. So I've been here for quite a long time and I've had many experiences, good ones and bad ones. So today I want to share with you all some pros and cons of life in Spain. I live in the south of Spain in Seville. So many of you have asked, what is it like living in Spain? Why do you live in Spain? So today I'm going to answer those questions. And I want to share this all with you because I often have this debate with my friends that are here from Spain, with my Spanish friends, and with my friends from the US and from different countries. And I think it's very interesting that we all have different visions of the pros and cons of life in Spain. So I'm going to share with you some of those debates and some of those pros and cons so that you can understand the context of life here in Spain a little bit more. So if you enjoy this podcast, if you like my content, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and if you're listening on Spotify, give this episode, this podcast, a 5-star review so that I can keep making this content for you all. So let's get into the pros and cons of living in Spain. I first made a video titled The Pros and Cons Living of Spain 2 years ago. Well, actually 3 years ago now. When I first arrived to Seville, I had this conversation with my roommate, Clara, and I had this conversation with locals. I interviewed locals around the city, and I asked, what are the pros and cons of life in Seville? That video was made during the pandemic, so a lot of people talked about how things changed, how we couldn't socialize as much as is normal here. So now this video is a little bit more up to date, and I've been here longer, right? I've been here 3 years longer. So 3 years later, I obviously have more experience and can tell more about the context and how life is here in Spain. Starting with the pros, some of the good things. I love the social life here. People here are very social and very friendly, so it's very easy to just go out and meet people, meet friends, and that's wonderful for people who are new to a city, of course. I came here not knowing anyone, only my roommate at the time, which was in the video I talked about earlier. She was the only person I knew in Seville and in Spain in general. So I didn't know anyone. I was a little bit lost. The wonderful thing about, I can say the south of Spain because I can't talk about all of Spain, but the wonderful thing about this city is you can meet people very easily. There are people from all over the world, all over Europe, all over the world really living here in this city. So it's easy to meet people from different cultures, to learn about different traditions. So that's wonderful. But talking a little bit about the cons of Seville, this is going to get real, okay? So, and this might be controversial. I don't want to offend anyone, okay? So I'm sorry to all my Sevillanos out there. But it's very hard to connect with people from Seville, locals, because they have their own friend groups. Like I met people from different places all around Spain, all around Andalusia, all around the world, and they're very friendly and open to meeting new people, probably because they're also foreigners in this city. But to this day, I only have one friend that's actually from Seville. It's very hard when you come to this city and they just have their friend circles, and that's okay, to each their own. But I came here hoping, hey, I want to meet locals. I want to know what the local life is like, the local culture is like. And unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to meet a lot of civilian people. And well, obviously I met a lot of civilian people, but to really create good connections and friendships with civilian people. A pro is the social life and just the way that people interact. A con is that the locals, people actually from Seville, have very closed circles and they're just not so open to meeting new people. To each their own. And talking a little bit about the social life, one of the things that I fell in love with the first time I came to Spain, and that I still love to this day, is the way that people enjoy life here. I mean that people just have more of a work-life balance than in the US. When I say work-life balance, I mean that in the US, people live to work, right? So they work all day, their life is all about making money because that's the culture. in the US, right? But here in Spain, people work to live. People work, obviously, and then they disconnect and they go out and live their life and spend time with their family and spend time with their friends. I mean, one of my favorite pastimes here in Seville is just meeting up with friends and having dinner for a few hours and just having beers and just chatting for hours, just chatting and enjoying company. That's something that people very much cherish here, is time with friends and family. In the US, sure, it happens, but a lot less and in a different way. So that's one of the things that I really love about life here, is that people just enjoy those little moments, the little things, right? Just chatting in the evening and drinking some beers and chatting with friends for hours. Just sharing maybe tapas, right? Tapas are like these little dishes, typical dishes that you can find in every restaurant, in every bar. Ordering a few tapas, ordering a few beers, and just chatting, of course, drinking and eating, munching. People really enjoy those little moments, and that's something that I learned to really cherish here living in Spain. But talking about the flip side of this, right? The beautiful thing is that they have a great work-life balance, they enjoy life, right? They go grab a beer, they eat for a few hours, right? They're not like taking 15-minute lunches or eating a sandwich while they're working, like in the US, right? If you know, you know. If you're from the US or you live in the US, you know what it's like. Okay, here they can really enjoy their lunch break, right? Disconnect. They can really have a nice dinner for a few hours, chat with friends. But what's the problem? Not problem, but on the flip side, the con is that you have to get used to this schedule. Being American, someone coming from the US, what was really hard for me was to adapt to the schedule, to the Spanish schedule, because here things happen on a schedule. And if you go outside of that schedule, especially the food schedule, you're screwed. I mean, it's really hard for you to get things done. So for example, around 2, 3, 4 p.m., around lunchtime, if you try to go anywhere, go to any store, do anything that's not a restaurant, you can't. You can't go to the store, everything is closed 2, 3, 4 p.m. because people are eating lunch. They have workers' rates here, right? In a way that in the US, 24/7 things are open. 24/7 things are running, things are productive, things are making money, things are working. Here in Spain, it's a little bit different, right? Around 2, 3, 4 p.m., if you try to get anything done, you're screwed. You can't get anything done and everything's closed. So you have to get used to this schedule. You really do. Also, if you try to eat, maybe you try to eat lunch, if you're from the US and you try to eat lunch at 12 p.m., that doesn't happen here. You can't eat lunch at 12 p.m. You can't eat dinner at 6 p.m. Here, the food schedule is very different. So you might have breakfast at whenever you have to get up for work. You might have maybe like toast and a coffee at 7 a.m., 9 a.m. Then you might have a snack at 12, right? Merienda snack, not merienda. Desayuno, a little snack at 12. And then lunch is at 2 or 3 p.m., which is later than in the US, and dinner is at 9 or 10 p.m. So the Spanish schedule really works like that. It's a little bit later than in the US, and if you go outside of those hours, it's hard to find food, which is something that was really tough for me at first because I had just came from the US and I showed up in Seville and I'm like, I'm gonna eat lunch at 12 p.m. No, I starved until 2 p.m. You have to get used to the Spanish schedule because there's no working around it. The schedule is set. The biggest con about life in Spain is bureaucracy, documentation. It's very complicated to get documents taken care of here. The system is very, very slow. And that can be said of any country, even more here. So that's very frustrating. I'll give you a story. So I have been here for 3 years now. And the first 2 years I was here working with a student visa. I was teaching in schools and it was kind of like an exchange program. So I was set. And during my second year here, I met a Spanish guy. And this is now my partner. And we started the process to do the pareja de hecho. This is something like a process that allows you to let your foreign partner stay in Spain and receive the identification, right? To not be here illegally or undocumented. So 1 year ago, we started the process of La Pareja de Hecho, right? The process for me to get my ID to be able to stay in Spain documented. We started that last June. It is now June. And still, I actually just got the letter like last week saying that it's official, that I can now apply for my ID. So I still don't have an ID, and we've been going through this process for a year. So now I have to bring that paper to another government office to get it notarized, and then I have to bring that notarized paper to another government office to start the application to get my ID. So things here, when it comes to bureaucracy and documentation, take forever, and it sucks. So that's also part of it. If you're from a different country, if you're a foreigner and you want to find the way to stay here documented, right, and have the legal processes all in check, it's gonna take time. That is just something you have to accept. So take it from me, I've been here 3 years and I'm still going through the process of getting my papers in check. So things don't work the same way that they do in the US, when you can just kind of get things done. It's not like that here. And that's something that has taught me patience, right? Patience. We can't have everything like this. We gotta enjoy the moment, right? Enjoy just every step, every process. It's easier said than done, but that's a lesson that I learned from living in Spain. So very glad for that. Spain has taught me many, many, many lessons, how to enjoy life, how to enjoy friends, and how to connect with people. I come from Seattle, which, if you know the Pacific Northwest culture, people are a little bit distant. People, I would say, are more introverted. There are a lot of antisocial tendencies, and that's something that I wasn't able to identify until I came to Spain and realized that, hey, people are meant to connect. People are meant to just chat for hours. People are meant to hang out and enjoy company, enjoy each other's company. So that's something that Spain taught me to appreciate and to love, to connect with people, just to chill, have patience, yeah? So Spain is a wonderful, beautiful country, and the lessons that I've learned here, the experiences that I've had are something that I will forever cherish. I still have a few more years here. Eventually I will move back to the US, but for now I feel very happy here and I feel very grateful to be here, honestly. So that's all that I can say so far about, well, this topic could go on for hours, right? But that's some of the kind of points, summarized points that I can share about life in Spain, my experiences in Spain. So if you like this type of video where I talk about life in different countries, about my experiences living here in Spain, leave me a comment down below and I can make more content like this. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, like I said, give it a like, subscribe to this channel, leave a review on Spotify, and I will see you all in the next episode.